very important to your career growth. It will push you and take you to the next level. So, are you attending this month's Fireside Chat? If you're not, what exactly are you waiting for? Beat me there.
So the Career Acceleration Fireside Chats is for job seekers, for early career professionals, for those who are planning to switch careers, for entrepreneurs, and generally for anyone who's looking to move to the next level and needs guidance. It is for you.
For you.
For you.
For you.
See you in class.
Technology. There is nothing you are looking for that you cannot find. It is there, it's out there. So find your strengths, find your weaknesses. Work in line with your strengths.
Thank you so much for adding so much value to us at the summit. For your invaluable insights, we're truly grateful for you. Hello there, can you hear me now, loud and clear? My name is Israel Ojuade, and I'm so excited to make you warmly welcome to the Career Acceleration Summit Fireside Chat stage. I'm sure you know already what time it is. It is CAS Fireside Chat o'clock, and you don't want to miss the this amazing edition and all that we have in store for you today. How are you doing today? How have you been? It's been a while. It's been about 4 weeks or so since we last saw ourselves. And it's such a beautiful privilege and honor to connect with you again. We're broadcasting live from the Career Acceleration Summit Studios here in the beautiful city of Abuja, Federal Capital Territory. And I'm so excited to connect with every single one of you from across the world. Can I please know in the chat room where you're joining this conversation from? Because it promises to be a beautiful time of learning, of growth, and of impact. Can I ask that you please not keep this conversation to yourself? Share this live stream with your friends, your colleagues, your professional networks, and everyone you know. Someone's career breakthrough might just be connected to that simple action of yours. So having said that, you're warmly welcome. If you're just connecting with us for the very first time, this is the Career Acceleration Summit, a flagship CSR initiative of Captain Consults Limited that is designed to equip professionals, entrepreneurs, and aspiring leaders like you with practical skills, mentorship, strategic relationships, and career insight that will help you move your career from where it is currently right now to where it ought to be. Our Fireside Chat series is part of the build-up to our summit proper, holding in the month of October that coincides with the month of independence of our beautiful nation, Nigeria. And we will be having the summit this year on the 9th and 10th of October 2026. It promises to be a beautiful time. The theme for this year's summit is Career for Impact, building work that outlives you. At some point in our lives, we must ask ourselves, are we barely surviving work, or are we creating a legacy that is going to last for generations yet unborn? So it promises to be a beautiful time. If you've been a part of the Career Acceleration Summit in the last 3 years, you will agree with me that we've brought in thought leaders from different sectors and industry to add value to our growing community of professionals. And I ask you, if you're yet to be a part of the Career Acceleration community, what are you waiting for? There is a link right now in the chat room, I believe, that must have been dropped or will be dropped right about now, that would help you connect with other professionals like yourself from across the world. In that community, we share tips, we share insights, we share career advice for free, completely free, that will help you scale from where you are to where you ought to be. So having said that, I would love to make you all warmly welcome again. If you're a part of the Career Acceleration community, you are my family members. Please let me know in the chat room whether you're joining us from the Career Acceleration Summit, and tell me the +1 that you brought to the call today. Because growth isn't fun when you're growing alone. Growth is beautiful when you're joining everyone that you know, when you're pulling them along, we're scaling together, your network is getting bigger and stronger, and you're making progress in your life, in your business, and in your career. So let me tell you a little story I came across sometime this week. It's a story about a man in a hole. So the man in the hole, a man was on his way somewhere, and somehow he fell into a ditch. And when he fell into a ditch, you know, he was stuck, he was stranded in the ditch. And he was wondering how he was going to make his way out. And he kept shouting, "Can anyone hear me? Can anyone help me?" And just a few moments after, he heard, you know, footsteps along the way. And, you know, a doctor, a medical doctor just stopped by and said, "Hello, what's going on in there?" He said, "I'm stuck in this hole. I need someone to help me." He said, "Well, I'm a medical doctor. This is my complimentary card." He actually threw the complimentary card into the hole and said, "When you get out of this hole, you know what you're going to do? Just contact me. I'm going to treat you for free." And then he walks away. And then a lawyer also passes by right after, and then notices that there's someone in the hole. He said, "Hello, how did you get in this place?" He told him all the story. He said, "Don't worry. When you get out of this hole, make sure you reach out to me and contact me. I would provide my services to you pro bono, and we're going to find out, and we're going to put it to the person who actually got you into this hole, who dug this hole without planning for the vicarious liability that was all that plenty English. And the man was at the point of giving up when he heard another footstep. Someone was passing by. Then, as he had always done, he screamed at the top of his voice, "Help me!" Then someone approached him, and when he saw the man, he explained the story. And you know what the man did? The man jumped right into that hole with him. And he was like, "Why would you just do that? Why would you jump into the hole with me? Now both of us are stuck. How will we ever get help?" He said, "Don't worry. I have actually been in a hole like this before, and I know the way out." And that was actually how he was able to make his way out. What we do in the career acceleration community is that we jump right in with you. We provide you with the insights that you need. We provide you with cutting edge strategic advice that will help you raise your game in your career, in your business, and to help you get to the level that you desire to be. So warmly, I make you welcome on behalf of Coach Afolake Agunbiade, the convener of the Career Acceleration Summit, and the entire production team. The entire Career Acceleration Summit family will make you warmly welcome to the July edition of our Career Acceleration Summit Fireside Chat. So glad to have you here. Let me connect with a few persons in the chat room. Darasimi, I see you joining from the beautiful city of Abuja. Thank you so much for joining, Dara. Christian, I see you as well, joining from Abuja. Victory is joining from Abuja as well. Paul Adeago is joining from Abuja. Abuja is topping the chat. Gideon Alejo joining from Abuja. I can see Paul. Paul said, "I'm joining from the villa. Interested. Please give our regards to the president. Glad to have you on the call." Make sure you share this live and this link with everyone who you know. And please get them in and let's have this conversation. Like I said earlier, this series began in the month of March with our amazing coach Afolake Agunbiade. We started by discussing the topic, the career plateau, why many professionals stagnate after 5 years. And we moved on from there onto discussing high impact skills that every professional should be building right now in the month of April. In the month of May, we spoke about career success. Is it a function of strategy or luck? And just in the month of June, we spoke about visibility and personal branding. The topic was off the hook. We spoke about this topic, if you're invisible, you're replaceable. Every of these topics are right on this channel. You're not paying a dime to get access to them. They're free of charge. Please make sure you go over every of these materials. They will add value to you in no small way. Today, we're discussing a topic that is crucial and critical to the lives of each and every one of us. Influence without authority, leading before the title comes. I've heard someone say, "Oh, I wish I can just be promoted. I wish I can take the place of my manager. I wish I can just get the promotion I've been waiting for." And you don't realize that before you actually get the promotion, you should begin to lead right from where you are, through competence, through excellence, through leadership in your own sphere. So today we'll be discussing topics like, how do I earn influence before I have authority? How do I lead when no one officially reports to me? How do I become the person people trust, respect, and follow? And how do I prepare myself today for the opportunities that I will receive tomorrow? We have two amazing professionals who don't only talk the talk, but have walked the walk. I've walked the talk consistently over time. The first amongst them to grace the stage is the very delectable Adamolekun Atinuke. She's a people relations expert and an HR data analyst. I'll read a profile, and the next voice you're going to hear will be that of Atinuke Josephine Adamolekun. She's a seasoned HR professional currently serving as a people relations associate at Avon Hill Signage Limited, a pioneering renewable energy access company in Nigeria with over 5 years of progressive experience in human resources. Atinuke plays a strategic role in shaping employee engagement, streamlining people processes, and driving a positive organizational culture aligned with business objectives. Our approach is rooted in empathy, structure, and measurable impact, which has earned her recognition, including the Best Team Player Award. Yay! She holds a bachelor's degree in computer science from the Federal University of Technology, Akure, combining a strong technical foundation With professional HR expertise, she brings a data-informed lens to HR management, particularly in the areas of people analytics, performance management, and talent development. Beyond our professional responsibilities, Atinuke is passionately committed to youth empowerment, focused on helping teenagers and young adults cultivate emotional intelligence, effective communication, and strong interpersonal skills. For those who are meeting her for the very first time, I introduce to you. And for those who are meeting her again and again, I'm sure if you're part of the CAS family, you will know Atinuke. She's one of our very own. And we're so glad to welcome you on stage, the amazing Atinuke Josephine Adamolekun. How are you doing today?
Oh my God. I'm
Did I just see
fine.
something on your, did I just see something on your picture? It's okay. We'll get to that conversation
Yeah.
later. Please take it over. Thank you so much for doing this with us. We
Thank
look forward to an
you.
amazing
Thank you
time
so
of
much.
learning and impact with you. Over to you. I'll be back after your session.
Thank you so much. When Coach Israel was reading that profile, I was like, is that me? Oh, wow. So I came in shy. My appreciation goes to Coach Falake. Thank you so much for this opportunity, year in, year out. And I'm really happy, honored, and glad to be part of the Career Acceleration family. Trust me, I remember days where I did moderation, and now I'm trying to facilitate a session. So I'm really, really glad for this opportunity. I say thank you to you. I say thank you to every of the team. Thank you so, so much. Okay. My topic today, or my focus today, is to discuss building influence without a title. Um, why am I not a manager first before I can show that I am credible in my work? So let me ask a question for everyone that is joining online. Please, as much as possible, kindly make it an interactive session. Help me with your comments in the chat room because I'll be asking questions here and there. So I want to know that I am communicating. That's how I know that I have effectively communicated my thoughts or what I'm speaking about. So let me ask a question. Is every leader influential? Let me hear your thoughts. Is a yes, is a no, is a maybe, is a, I'm not sure. Is every leader influential? When you hear someone is a leader, you think the person is influential. Now you would understand that if it is necessary to have influence from where you are, or you have to have a title to have influence. So please let me hear your comments in the chat room and we'll continue. So I would be sharing my screen shortly. So just confirming if my slides are up. Thank you. Thank you, Liberty. Not every leader is an influential person. Thank you so much. Thank you for that comment. Please, other people, you might have a different thought. So let me hear, is every leader influential? So my next slide, there's this quote, while I was preparing for this session, of course, I had to do some research, even beyond my own experience. And I came across this book from Keith Ferrazzi called Leading Without Authority. And one of the quotes that came out for me was, position does not define power, impact defines power. Now, you want to think about life experience anyway. Just think about when you were in secondary school, when you got to the university, when you got to, for people that have done their NYC here in Nigeria, I know some we have viewers from outside of Nigeria. Think of someone who was influential in your midst. Trust me, most of them never had a title. think of your CDS coordinator. He probably just did things that made him, okay, this person will be a good leader. Let's make him our CDS coordinator. Or in school, before they make somebody a prefect, the person had said to portray abilities or attributes of being influential or being a leader in that space. So influence isn't something that your job description gives you. It is something people choose to give you because of how you show up every day. So now, if you want to think of how am I showing up, am I influential? Am I making impact because I have a title or because of the position that I occupy, or just because I know that I need to do my work and do it well? So by the end of today's session, I hope that you will leave with practical things that you'll be able to do consistently over time, that will make people naturally listen to you, trust you, and rely on you, because that's what influence really is. Influence is the ability for you to be able to convince people to do something without putting authority on them. Because you have the authority as a manager does not mean that you are going to be influential on your people. They won't do those things willingly. They will be compelled to. So there's a difference between compelling somebody to do something, and there's a difference between convincing someone to do something. So who is a real leader? I think I jumped to my slide. Okay. Who is the real leader in the room? I just gave an example of what authority, the idea behind authority, the idea behind a title. It makes it easy for people to be compelled to do something. So they say, manager said, when people want you to do something, there's always manager said, the CEO said, the leader said, because they have the decision rights to make those decisions. So you are compelled to do it. Now, a title can assign responsibilities, but influence ends willing followership. You would see that in a group of people, even without giving that person a title, there is somebody that leads that team indirectly. There's someone who draws attention to themselves. There's someone who people trust because of how they have been able to communicate, how their judgment has been able to influence, how their thoughts, they've been able to cooperate with people, they've been able to do things that will make them committed to the cause or to what they need to do as a team. Now, when you think of influence, you think of competence, you think of reliability, you think of fairness, you think of courage, you think of calmness, you think of fairness, you think of clarity. Those are some of the things that you can associate with influence. People can obey authority, but influence makes people willingly follow you. Influence without leading influence is leading without authority. Influence is the ability to guide people, to be able to convince people to do things without authorizing them, without compelling them to do it. That is who a true leader is, without the title. Think of someone with no formal title, whose opinion carry weight. There are people today, they just need to carry a mic and say something, and that is it. Everybody follows. They are not the president of the nation. They are not the vice president. They are not senators. They are not CEOs of companies, right? But they just a perfect example is your influencers. Before the title influencers came up, they just need to say, oh, I'm no longer buying this particular product because I believe that it is fake or they do something else. They've earned the trust of people because of their words. They didn't need to say, oh, now I am the manager of so company. This is what we do. No. But because over time, they've been able to draw attention to themselves, they've been able to show cooperation and commitment to their work. Now, what influence truly means? Influence is when people start to seek your opinion on something. When you hear questions like, I'm working on this, what do you think? It is because you have either done something before that your judgment was trusted, was true, and they felt, oh, okay, I think I should go and meet Amanda again for help, because the last time she helped me, she was able to direct me. Influence is the ability to shape decisions, behaviors, and outcomes through trust and not hierarchy. Within an organization or even in any place, you would find that there are people who control the narrative, in the sense that they will go and meet them first to seek their perspective on certain things before they even take it to the manager, before they even take it to the leader. Guy, I think I'm working on this. What do you think? I'm thinking of this idea. What do you think? They come to you because you have over time given them sound judgment over certain things. People begin to adopt your ideas. It means that you are now becoming influential. When people begin to adopt your ideas, when your ideas begin to change the perspective of things, when people begin to trust how you follow through without authority, how you're able to reduce uncertainty in the midst of chaos, how are you able to calm the system and say, okay, guys, I think this is what's happening. We're going to work on this. Can we just do it this way? Can we propose this to the manager? Can we say this, put it like this to the manager? And trust me, the moment you start to take initiatives in that way, in that light, people would start to trust your judgment and begin to help you or make your case known to people and say, this person, when I had a problem, they gave me this advice, I did it. They had this idea, it worked out. When things were going haywire, they were able to help me calm. So it brings clarity, it brings it brings certainty to the midst of uncertainty. Now it helps them with confidence when you help them with their work. The next thing I'm going to talk about is how influence would often precede position. The safest way to prepare for a future role is to demonstrate judgment in initiative, collaboration, and follow through in the role that you are currently are. As a front desk person, how are you demonstrating initiative? How are you how are you having good judgment when people walk into the office space? How do you make people feel? How do you influence their first experience, their first time experience when they come into your organization as a front desk person? When you notice a problem, what do you do first? I'm not the manager, it's none of my concern, so I have nothing to say about it. Or it is not in my department. Why do I have to be the one to talk about it? That's not how to even become a leader, not talk of someone who is influential. When you notice a problem, you see a problem, what do you do? Are you directing it to the right department? Are you ensuring that you are seeing through it, follow through to say, okay, this problem, I've noticed it. How do I propose value by creating a solution or proposing an idea that would add real value? How do you build trust? How do you earn those trust? So, right? How do you gain visibility? How do you expand your visibility? The Fireside chat for June talked about visibility, and there was one thing Coach Etima said that stuck with me, that said, if you are invisible, you are replaceable. How do you expand and gain your visibility? How do you receive responsibility? Now, good judgment in your current role is the proof that you are ready for the next one. if you're not able to make the right judgments now, I don't think anybody will want to hand over to you anything bigger or more work, because the one that we are giving you to do, you're not even doing it well. So why should we now say, when I'm a manager, I will show them that, no, show them you can do the work now. You cannot wait till you're a manager. How do they know that you can do the work if you cannot do it now? Right? Following through even when it is uncomfortable is what earns credibility over time. Position does not define power. Like I said before, impact defines power. But impact still has to be earned through the relationship, not assertion through the title that you don't even have yet. Like when I become manager, I will do this. No, that you make impact. No. How do you begin to make impact where you are? How do you begin to make impact in the little things that have been handed over to you? How do you notice a problem? How do you find a solution to that problem? How do you add value to the system? There's something we do in our organization where in your key performance index, you have a section called process improvements. There has to be at least one process improvement every quarter in the way you do your work, at least one. So if you're not making impact, it means that there's no continuous improvement anywhere. How do you build trust? Do not wait for the permission to lead. Lead responsibly within the work already in your hands. How are you handling the work that you have in your hands currently? So I'm going to ask this question. Between competence, consistency, and character, what do you think is the hardest to build? Competence, please, I need to see your comments in the chat room. Between competence, consistency, and character, what do you think is the hardest to build? Because credibility is built on these three questions. But which of these do you think is the hardest to build? Competence, consistency, or character? I can't see anybody's comments. Have I been talking to myself? I need to know that people are with me. So if you can drop your comments in the chat room, please let me know which of these is the hardest to build: competence, consistency, or character. Now, credibility is built on these questions. Thank you so much, Shepard. It says consistency. Cynthia Chidima says consistency is the hardest reminder. Okay, we'll get back to, please, more responses. We'll get back to your to your response. So on these three questions, can you deliver? Can people rely on you? And can they trust your intent? What is the purpose that you are doing good work? Is it for your manager to see you, or for the good work to actually be done? Is it for, in quotes, they call it Ojuaye, for eye service? Is that why you are doing the work? For either, I'm the only one working in this organization, let them see me. What is your intent in doing this? Now, thank you so much for all your responses. I'm seeing consistency. Victor says character. I would explain. Now, competence without consistency makes competence without consistency makes someone brilliant but unpredictable. Consistency without character makes someone dependable but unsafe. Character without competence creates good intentions without enough impact. To me, character is the hardest to build. Someone can have competence but have very bad character. Trust me, it would take that person nowhere. You would not be able to influence anything. Your work will not speak for you, because they will be like, is it okay, sorry, let me not try to mention anybody's name here. Is it Mr. A? No, you know how to do the work, boy. I don't like the way you used to talk to me. Consistency, you're delivering your tasks right on time. However, you need to know that character is something that is very, very dependable. People want to know that they can trust you, you are loyal to them. And while this is top notch, but you are also delivering value through your competence and through consistency. So I'll quickly rush through. This is just expanding all the talks on competence and consistency and character. Now, emotional intelligence is something that you need to do when you want to have influence. How are you able to read the room? How are you able to regulate yourself? How are you able to listen to people when they talk instead of just answering them? How are you able to respond with empathy and clarity, right? It says here, pause, notice, and choose your words correctly. Can you find out how you react when you're under pressure so that you will know your weak points, right? Can you find out how you are able to help people regulate themselves, steady the calm, the chaos, and help them say, okay, don't worry, we'll sort this out. How are you able to build that relationship? How are you able to advise them without hearing them first? That is part of the things that influence helps us to do. Now you have influence travels through relationship. It's not just upward that, oh, because I want to please my manager, then I have to just do the right thing. No, you're working with different people. You're working with your peers, you're working with stakeholders, you're working with other team members, and you're also working with managers. Give before asking. Understand priorities. Connect people and resources. Disagree without damage. Words carry power. They can hurt. They can do more damage than what is actually on ground. So disagree without damage. Now, I'm going to give us this 30-day influence plan that I have here. And it is what we can do to help us with our influence. Can you find out one skill, one capability that will make you more useful? One skill, once a day. Just one thing that you know that, okay, I need to do this to make it more useful for me in my workplace. What priorities do you need to understand better? What are the things that you need to do better? What relationships do you need to encourage to grow, to blossom? Then what useful outcomes can you make easier to see? I can't dwell much on visibility. That was already done well last month for the last month fireside chat. So a skill that should be observable, a visible contribution that would have a great outcome. What promise will you keep consistently? We've talked about character. Character is as much as keeping your word is character. You can't meet up with a deadline, just communicate that you can't meet up. Let's so that people will be able to hold on to it that this person, he keeps to his word, or they keep to their word. They'll say they will do something, and yes, they will do it. So my key charge for us is that don't follow titles, rather they follow trust, they follow competence, and they follow credibility. Make people feel safe, create meaningful value, and build a pattern people can believe. Don't go off today and come back tomorrow. Don't be consistent day one, then day 2 to 100. That's all. You're off, right? So leadership is not postponed until a future position. It is practiced in the quality of influence that you build today. Thank you very, very much. And start where you are. Thank you so much.
Wow, amazing. Can we make it rain for the amazing, amazing? Permit me to say, Coach Atinuke Josephine Atabaleko, you did a phenomenal job. Can we make it rain for her in the
Thank
chat
you
room?
so much.
You added so much value to the conversation, and we cannot thank you incredibly enough for sharing your wealth of knowledge. Now, here's a catch to everyone in the chat room. I'm making a promise that if you join the Career Acceleration community, who knows, you probably might just get the slides to enable you continue on your growth journey. I will speak to Coach Atinike for you and we'll see about that. So please click on the link in the chat room and join the community. And if you have questions, you have something you'd like to direct to any of our speakers today, please make sure you drop your questions in the chat room. I'll bring that back shortly for our Q&A session in a very short while. Thank you so much once again, Mr. Tinuke. We say a very big thank you. I'll be bringing you right up stage in a very, very short while to take this conversation to the next level. Now we understand that leadership is not particularly defined by your position, but by your influence. Our second speaker will be helping us to understand what it takes to actually take action, what it really means to lead before the title comes, and how you can begin to demonstrate leadership regardless of your current position. Our next speaker is none else than the amazing Coach Akiwumi Akiola. Is a behavioral insights lead at the Policy Innovation Center. I'll read his profile and I'll bring him up very shortly. Akiwumi Akiola is an Associate Director, Delivery and Innovation at the Policy Innovation Center, PIC, where he leads the organization's delivery systems and innovation portfolio. It provides strategic oversight for behavioral insights, policy development, governance, and democracy programs, innovations, and project management, driving the translation of research and evidence into impactful policy and institutional reforms. His work focuses on helping governments and developing partners design, test, and scale solutions that improve governance, economic inclusion, and gender equality, and public sector performance. Ladies and gentlemen, please make warmly welcome with me to the CAS Fireside stage, the amazing Mr. Akiwumi Akiola. Please make it rain in the chat room for him. Thank you so much for gracing this stage. We're so happy to have you on board. Over to you. I'm sure we're going to have an engaging and impactful conversation. Thank you once again.
Thank you so much, Israel. Please, can you confirm if you can hear me?
Loud and clear, sir. We can hear you. Please go ahead.
Fantastic. Thank you. Thank you so much. I have my slide queued. You can help me with that. Thank you so much for having me, the CAS team. And it's such a pleasure to be here once again. Thank you, Coach Falake. Thank you for every member of the team. Like I was introduced, my name is Akiwumi Akiola. I work as an associate director in Policy Innovation Center, and I just don't want to go over repeating what has been said. I learned a lot from the previous session, but I will just build on what has been said by speaking about leadership beyond appointment. I want to imagine that we're in a room right now, and so just think about yourself and ask yourself a very reflective question. How many times have you had to lead without an appointment or without a title in a layman's language? How many times, and by how many times, can you think about a time where you actually had to lead without a title or without any appointment? And the answer is yes. If you think deeply, very well, you will get to realize that the concept of leadership is not only contingent on an appointment, neither is it contingent on a position. You just have to understand the principles of leadership, particularly breaking it down, to habits of a leader. And the moment you begin to demonstrate that, you will be noticed, and the trajectory will be that you will move from the noticeable behavior of leadership and into a leadership appointive positions. Okay, next slide, please. And so we'll speak about how to lead effectively even before that appointment comes or before it becomes official. So you'll find that a lot of people just think that you need to get that title or you need to get that appointment before you lead. That is a misnomer. It's not the way it works in real life. So you find that if you are relying basically on leadership, on appointment for you to lead, you are going to lag behind. So the first principle is leadership is first about your habits and your behavior before it becomes a title. That is the cadence. That's the order in which it should happen. If you don't demonstrate a leadership leadership behavior, you are likely not going to be called into the room. And the people that are called into the room will eventually be appointed to lead. That's just the first principle. So most people wait for promotion to start leading, but the people who actually get promoted are the ones who were already behaving like leaders. The key word there is behaving like leader. And there are several behaviors of a leader. I will mention a few of them in the course of this presentation. So leadership is a behavior and it is not a position. Leadership is a behavior and it is not a position, right? I'm trying to make this bigger. Okay, I think this works better now. So leadership is a behavior and not a position. First, it's important that you separate the role that you are given in the organizational chart from the behavior that you choose to live by consistently. I always say this, I think I still said it yesterday, that it takes a lot to be who you are on a daily basis. What I mean by that is that think about your values, think about your standards. So I just, in the last 10 minutes or 15 minutes ago, I sent a message to somebody because I'm supposed to speak somewhere at 5 p.m. And I just sent a message to the person that was like around 15 minutes after 4 to say that I will be joining about 10 to 15 minutes late, right? That is a character ideal, so to speak, right? And people are watching, whether you like it or not, whether it's even in the corporate. I mean, this gentleman does not work in my organization, but those things we count in how it relates with me. That I'm treating him with respect, I'm treating the management of his time with respect, and so I'm giving him upfront of like 45 minutes to say that I might be, extending my arrival time by like 15 minutes, right? So that's a typical example of a leadership behavior, that you don't ghost people, you don't just shut the door, you don't exit without doing the proper things and cleaning up the tables and leaving the door open because you might need to, you still route yourself through that door. And I've been in some very difficult conversations in recent times that has taught me the value of relationship, that regardless of, in fact, I've seen in many organizations where the value of having consistent, steady leadership behavior is rated beyond even your technical competence, right? At the best, you will get a match of it, but that's how important those values are in those organizations. So your leadership, your values, your leadership is connected to your personal identity, is connected to how you show up, is connected to your value system. And I just gave you an example of that, right? Don't confuse or conflate trust and authority. You can be in authority and not be trustworthy. You can be in authority and not be able to amass influence. And so people relate with you based on the level of trust that you're able to engender with them. So think about it. Your staff members or team members are not going to be able to confide in you or speak with you or share their concerns or talk to you about some opportunities that could benefit your organization if they don't trust you, right? If you are the person that is unapproachable just because you want to look like the boss, in Africa, there are just some beliefs that we don't believe in leading with vulnerability, right? And those are some of the setbacks that we do have, contextually in Africa. But think about it, that you can have that authority yet not have the trust. So the principle is engender the trust. When you have the authority, it helps you to amplify the relationship and influence that you have been able to build, right? Recognition and not creation. So organizations don't create leaders. They recognize the ones that already exist. And let me say this. It is the work of any leader and I've been on several recruitment platforms, so I can tell that any good leader has a knack for spotting emerging leaders also. So think about that, right? Let me move quickly because of time. Taking initiative is very important, but you must take initiative with a caution. So when we talk about leadership behavior, particularly without necessarily holding the title or the authority, so to speak, think about it, that you have personal values, as simple as you walk past something that is detailed, something that looks like considered a nuisance, that is not proper, that doesn't depict your organization as an excellent organization from day to day or from time to time. And you see that a lot of people pass by, they don't fix it. You are the fixer, and you don't need to hold the title of a cleaner. You don't need to hold the title of who else could fit into that role. Maybe a janitor, whatever that title might be that would ordinarily be assigned that role. Your work is to be able to take initiative and solve problems. but you must do it with a caution. Do not overstep your boundaries. So there's a lot of emotional intelligence that you will need to do this, right? So first, you must have the knack to be able to identify what is broken. You must have the highs, that seeing highs to be able to know that something is wrong somewhere. This is not fitting right. This is not the best we can put up together. If we adopt or if we attempt this other approach, we will get better results. So your mind must be well acquainted to spotting errors, and it's not a bad thing, because there's another extreme of spotting errors that you become very critical and you lose your emotional intelligence and you just appear like you know it all and nobody can talk to you. But do it with boundaries. So I'm saying that take the initiative, spot the error, spot the gaps, right? Don't ignore it. Don't let every other person might be passing by, but spot the error or where the gap is and take initiative in solving that problem. This is very important. How do you do that without overstepping your boundaries? Number one, you make the person look good. The person who is already the title owner should fix that, especially if the person is a more senior officer, right? If the person is your superior, for instance, there's nothing wrong in, number one, coming up with the idea or with the groundwork or with the proposition of what can work, right? Or a solution to that problem, and presenting it to that person. That way, you have done all the groundwork, the data, you are presenting all the options, and it just needs to make the decision as to whether we want to go we want to adopt any of these options we have presented or not. And it's a go, no go decision. That way, you are not taking it shy. And that's a typical example of emotional intelligence. You don't outshine your bosses, you don't outshine your leaders, but make sure that the problem is solved in the long run, right? Next slide. Next. Okay. Honing problems instead of waiting for instructions. And I mentioned this, that it's good to take ourselves away from that mentality of it's not your job and pass it by and ignore like every other person. Ownership is visible in small moments. And I've given very small examples. It doesn't have to be something big. Flagging a risk before it's asked about, fixing a broken process. It could even be as little as fixing something that a lot of people don't pay attention to. Following through until that problem is actually removed, until it is solved. And that consistency, that's what the earlier speaker was speaking about, that you have a follow through. You are not leaving it halfway done. You can't eat an halfway done beans. You need to have the sweetness of that meal is that it was finally cooked, right? And it is edible. It's something that will benefit your body. So think about it, that what you're doing, you need to have it well thought through, well thought out, and you are not dropping the balls halfway. This is very, very important. So this is the behavior that hiring managers, they look out for, especially because it's difficult to fake, right? Next. I think I'll just run with the slides from my hand to make it easy. So how do you influence without authority? It's important to build credibility, right? Build credibility, be consistent, show up the same way every time. This might be one of the biggest challenges of leaders, the problem of consistency. That growth in itself is not a problem. It's not even noticeable until it is consistent. If you have an astronomical growth and it is a one-off, you will not be seen or perceived to be a consistent performer or a consistent leader without a steady, consistent growth, or without seeing that level of consistency. So the way we see you must show excellence every time, from your look to the way you deliver, even presentations, to the quality of your thoughts, to the quality of your relationships, to how you comport yourself, to how you mash out. So there's an array of skills and behavior that you must consistently show up with for us to begin to see you as a leader, right? And beyond that, we must now see the affective part, which is the commitment. We don't need to ask you for you to know that. I mean, I'm an associate director in my organization. While starting this organization, I had to sleep in, just because we're trying to meet deadlines, I almost had to sleep in printing press to make sure that, and that's the level of commitment that people pay a lot of attention to when they want to promote you to leader. By the way, in many organizations, if you don't demonstrate this level of commitment, you, no matter how good you are technically, you will never become a C-level man, a C-level leader. So this is very, very important. You must show that consistency, credibility, consistency, and commitment. These are very important things to show up as a steady leader, right? Making decisions, creating values, and solving problems. So all of this you can actually do without having a title, right? Without being a C leader, without carrying a title or carrying a title that confers authority on you. Think about it, where you are. Lead within your zone. Leadership shows up in the quality of decisions, and I've thought about the quality of your thoughts, right? Your logic process, how you chunk ideas, how you're able to process thoughts, right? Your ideologies must be thorough. The way you immerse yourself in things, your range. These are very important things that people, when I enter into interview discussions, I don't spend more than 30 minutes. I don't spend more than 10 minutes to know whether this person is a candidate in my organization or not. And the HR knows. Once I just keep quiet in the interview, he knows that from Akin's judgment, this person is not a candidate, right? So this thing is very, very important, right? A good decision made on time often beats a perfect decision made late. So think about it, that sometimes you just need to, and stop procrastinating. You just need to make that decision, and it doesn't have to be a perfect decision if you want to really solve problems, right? Create value without a title. I can't overemphasize this. As I wrap up, I'll leave you with a closing charge. Don't rise to the occasion, right? Solve the problems. Let's see what you are shifting, right? Let's see what you are moving in an organization. Let's be able to see, perceive. Let's be able to feel the impact of your work. And if you now want to put the icing on the cake, balance it with very I want to select the word competitive character, because character is very scarce these days, right? So if you have somebody who has a mix of both competence and character, that is a very proper, well-rounded professional. They are very scarce, right? And so think about that. You need to always show up. You need to always put your best feet forward. You need to also be consistent, be credible. Don't forget some of these things. In solving the problems, don't forget, you don't need to outshine your leader. Deploy your emotional intelligence. Have the capacity to make good judgments, because in the scheme of things, the quality of your thoughts will outweigh the time that you spend in carrying out the task. The quality of that, because especially if you're moving from a manager level to a C-level kind of leadership, your thoughts must be able to provide clarity, must be able to anticipate risk, must be able to solve problems even before they arise. I'm going to stop here and say thank you so much for having me. It's been a pleasure spending this short moment with you.
And thank you so much for honoring us with your presence. You added so much value. It was as though you packed so much within a very short time. CAS community members and family members, can we please say a very big thank you to Mr. Akinwumi Akinola for gracing the stage, for sharing without reservation, and for being a leader in your own right. I've known you for many years. You're someone who has showed up. One clock it moment from me, from what you said, is that leadership is not a position, it is a behavior. And I can attest to it that you are one person who shows up authentically in every space that you find yourself. So we say a very big thank you to you. We understand that you have another engagement to catch up with, so we would release you to go on to that in a very short while. We say a very big thank you once again. And we look forward to always having you add value to the CAS family every time we have the opportunity to have you once again on stage. Thank you so much. Let's make it rain once again for him, and let's say a very big thank you. I see we're learning so much in the community. Victory said a good decision often beats a perfect decision made late. Stop procrastinating was what Cynthia Chidinma said as well. SYR Liberty 24, I see you. You've been engaging consistently in the chat room. We say thank you. You said you made a very profound statement when you said growth is not visible until it is consistent. Someone needs to write that down. Growth is not visible until it is consistent. If you're showing up, make sure you show up consistently. Mr. Akiwumi Akiola said something about commitment, about consistency, and about making sure that you are competent. There is nothing like it, and it is necessary for you to put all of this into practice, not just to hear all of the amazing insights that have been shared in this community, but ensuring that you put them to practice. That is how to level up, and that is how to accelerate on your career journey. We'll be going for a very short media break. We're still on the CAS Fireside Chat series, the July edition. CAS stands for the Career Acceleration Summit. Fireside Chat series is a build up to the Career Acceleration Summit proper, holding in the month of October 2026. You don't want to miss it for anything. Holding on Friday the 9th and on Saturday the 10th. The 9th event is a virtual summit, while the 10th event is a physical summit for those of you who are present in the city of Abuja. And if you're outside Abuja, why not? You can plan to join us. You can plan to fly into the city, as we've had in previous editions, those who've come from other cities to come join us in Abuja as we host this global summit. CAS is more than a summit, it's a movement. And I said earlier that every of the learnings that we have in here is immersive, and we continue the learnings on a community that we know as the Career Acceleration Community. I'm a part of the community, and I cannot wait to connect with you in the community. We have thousands of professionals and entrepreneurs all across the world who are a part of this growing community of practice, where we throw in insights, where we throw in networks, where we throw in tools and to level up on your growth journey. Where have you been all the while? It's time for you to join us and to raise your game and level up. This is the Career Acceleration Summit Fireside Chat series. It is a CSR initiative of Catting Consult Limited, where all we do at Catting is to redefine and enhance a culture of excellence in processes, enabling individuals and organizations to thrive. Thank you all so much for joining us. We'll go for a very short media break, and we'll be back for our Q&A segment. If you're yet to drop your questions, please do that right about now. Do you have anything you would like any of our amazing speakers to speak to? Any question that is bugging your mind? Drop it in the chat room, and we'll take it right after the media break. CS Media team, over to you. Let's go for a short break. I'll be back with you for the Q&A section. Don't go anywhere. We'll be right back with you shortly. Thank you.
Technology. There is nothing you are looking for that you cannot find. It is there, it's out there. So find your strengths, find your weaknesses. Walk in line with your strengths.
Thank you so much for adding so much value to us at the summit. For your invaluable insights, we're truly grateful for you.
Hello there, you're welcome. Thank you for staying tuned and connected to the Career Acceleration Summit Fireside Chat Series July edition. The Fireside Chat Series holds once every month as we build up to the Career Acceleration Summit proper, holding on the 9th and the 10th of October 2026. Please mark your calendars and ensure that you get into the room, you're part of the community, and let's continue to grow together. I would like to say a very big thank you to all our sponsors and partners, everyone who has made it possible for us to continue to host the Career Acceleration Summit from when we started. I'm sure you saw somewhere in that video in 2018 when the Career Acceleration Summit was actually hosted as a paid class. It began in 2018 as a paid class. But in the last 3 years, we've had it consistently as a free summit because of our sponsors and partners. We'll bring a few of them to you in the next edition as we begin to unveil them as we build up towards the Career Acceleration Summit proper. And if you're willing to join our growing list of esteemed partners and sponsors who are making it possible for us to continue to help everyone in the community, both within and outside the shores of our nation, Nigeria, to grow in their career. If you'd like to join, kindly indicate in the comment section or reach out to us using the information scrolling on your screen. Like I said, the CAS is the flagship CSR initiative of Catting Consult Limited. You can reach out to us via our website, www.cattingconsult.com, or through any of our social media handles. You can get in contact with us and we'll put you through on how you can become a part of our growing community of sponsors, of partners, and permit me to also say of volunteers who are making this event possible this year. The date again is the 9th and the 10th of October, Friday and Saturday of October 2026. It promises to be a time that you will get, and you'll be able to trace a lot of your growth back to it, whether you're an entry-level professional or an entry-level entrepreneur, a mid-level professional, a mid-level entrepreneur, a senior-level professional, a senior-level entrepreneur. Everyone has a place in the Career Acceleration community to grow, to connect, to interact, and to become the best version of ourselves. Media team, if you will, please bring up stage for me the amazing Atinuke Josephine Adamoleko once again as we take our Q&A segment. I've seen a lot of questions in the chat room. Yay, you're welcome back. That was a phenomenal session, and I must attest to the growth that you've continually exhibited over the years and how you put a lot of pressure on yourself to becoming the version of you that you are today. I must say that I'm very, very proud of you. For everyone who has been a part of CS, I'm sure you must have seen Atinuke as one of the moderators of the previous editions, and now she is one of our facilitators today. This is a proud moment for me personally, and it's a testament to the growth that you have shown over the years consistently. And we say a very big thank you. And from all of us in the CS family, we say we are so proud of you. Keep winning and keep being the best. Congratulations once again. I have a few questions for you. I see that some questions have also been dropped in the chat room. We've harvested a few already, and I will take one from Liberty 24 as well to wrap up the session before we close. And this is my first question to you. You made a very profound statement when you said there's a difference between influence and authority. You said the fact that you are a positional leader doesn't make you an influential leader. What is the difference? Is there any distinction between influence and authority? And why is it important for us to understand that difference for our career growth and career acceleration? Over to you, Ati.
Thank you. Thank you so much. So one thing that is important to understand is that your title may come after your leadership has already been demonstrated. You cannot be a leader until you're able to influence decisions, influence competence, influence character, and the ability to get people to be willing to support. So that's the thing, the willingness for people to be able to do things without being compelled to. So for example, I'm not a mom yet, but I'm sure you're a dad of three amazing children, and you would notice how sometimes you want to do the I'm the daddy authority, and okay, let me do it so that they see me do it, and then they get to now act on it. So you have influenced them because they've been able to see you do those things. Like, oh, okay, daddy does it. Oh, you built credibility. You've built a relationship with that with that act that you have done. You've also built competence. If daddy can do it, I can do it too. You've instilled the character of I can do it in them. Then you're now making them okay. Now I can do it. Then I want you to do it. That is being assertive. That is being trying to compel people to do things. And really, as people who work in organizations, you don't want to be compelled to do things. You want to be guided through and ensure that they are seeing you contribute to the system, making it good for other people to also follow. So yes, that's my response.
Fantastic. Thank you so much for that perspective that you just shared. The questions are raining for you in the chat room already. I'm sure a lot of us are taking a lot away from these conversations today. Christian just shared in the chat room and he said, what are the two habits? What are your top two? Permit me to add one more. What are your top three habits? I'm sure you spoke about it in your
Yeah.
slides already, but I want you to please unpack that. There's someone new on the call. There's someone on the call who is new to their industry, who is new in their organization, who wants to begin to prepare themselves for leadership before the title comes. What are some of the traits? Mr. Akinwumi Akinola said leadership is a behavior. He said leadership is first a behavior before you get the position. So what are some of the traits? What are some of the habits? You said something about consistency earlier. What are the things that I must begin to do to position myself, to prepare my mind? What is the mindset of a leader? And what are the things that I need to start to do to build my influence before the position comes? Over to you.
All right, thank you. So that question, I will take it from the aspect that just act like, first, let me act like you're new in the organization, or you're new to that team, you're new to the system. One thing I would say is, can you learn what your team's expectation is? What is the expectation of the organization as regards your work? What is the expectation of your manager as regards your work? How are things actually done? How do I get things done within my team? Who is the authority within my team? Know your there's something that they say, the silence money makers or move makers within your team. They don't do anything serious, so they are not holding the title, but they should just do something like this. They know how to move. So can you learn how things work within that team? That is one habit, the habit of learning of how things get done. Then can you find problems, processes that you think you can improve on? Spot a problem, spot something that you feel, okay, we are doing it right, but can you research more on how something can be done better and propose? There's something Mr. Akinwumi said. He said that propose but don't impose. It is that you should propose the solution. Sir, I think this is what we're doing, but I propose that if we do it this way, I have done my research, facts, you're bringing it to the table. That is what the world is right now. Data, people want to see what's happening, and everybody's using data to speak. So what data did you find concerning that problem, and how are you translating it into the solution that you're proposing? So deliver on that, saying, I have this, I have the facts. If we do this, this is how I think it will get better. But I'm willing to work with you. That's relationship. Sustaining that relationship, ensuring that there's no friction points between or between you and your manager or whoever you're working with. Then the third thing is learn how to build good relationship. Everybody will not, nobody's perfect. Everybody will not do what you like every time. Somebody would come speak to you the way you don't like, but how do you deliver results without getting offended when you're giving feedback and you're like, wow, they don't even used to accept anything I say at all. No. Can you understand maybe from there's something that person knows that you have no idea about, that your idea cannot pass. At that time, okay, maybe does not stop you. So don't connect with people when you only need something from them. Can you build and sustain a relationship in the sense that you're giving before you're taking? You want people to help you do something. Oh, I'm going to help you do this, but I really need you to help me do this also. So it is not a relationship where it's not a parasitic relationship where someone is just being a parasite over the other. So those are the three things you learn. You do
Wow.
facts with your solutions, and you build relationships. Thank you.
Wow, wow, fantastic, fantastic insight. So, if I'm to sum up what you said, first off, I need to understand the expectations in my environment, and that's a
Yes.
high level of environmental awareness, understanding what is going on in the space where you're in, understand what are the expectations, what does management expect from me, what does success look like in this context. Fantastic. Then the second point you made, you have to say it in my own, is someone who spots problems early on, who is proactive, who provides solution based on evidence and data. I should be someone who is a go-to person that will make my system trust my credibility over time, because I'm someone who does and who performs consistently. And you also said something about building relationships. That is so profound. Those points are very, very profound. You ended up by speaking about trust. You said so much in a very short while, and we cannot thank you enough.
Thank
I will tie
you.
back to the last edition of the Fireside Chat series that we had, where we talked about visibility. And that will lead to my next question before I take the next question that Liberty dropped on the chat room. Now, this is the question. How can I become influential? Can I become influential if I remain invisible? Is it possible for me to just do my thing in my small corner because of my personality? I'm not someone. I'm not someone who likes to blow my trumpet. Even if I do my work, I can allow someone else to take credit for it. How can I really become influential when I remain invisible? And what are the practical steps that I can begin to take to increase my visibility without sounding as if I am blowing over the top or I am being self-promotional? What are your thoughts around that?
Okay, so to be honest, if you want to be influential, you cannot be invisible. And I get there's a popular statement that says that let your work speak for you. My brother, my sister, that will only take you a mile. It will not take you far. Trust me. Um, Sometimes, yes, it will speak for you, but there are times where it is the people, because they've seen your work over time, it is the people that will also speak for you. So you cannot be invisible if you want to be influential. Being influential means that people are able to see the contributions that you're making and what you stand for within that system, within that organization, within that sphere, within that niche. Coach Etima said something that she had to consistently post so that people will see, like, you're turning left, you're turning right, you are seeing her everywhere. Does not mean that you have to see her as a person everywhere, but you're seeing her work, you're seeing everything that she's doing from time to time. Coach Falake also said something at the beginning. Was it at the beginning of the session? Or I can't remember where I heard. Okay, or maybe I think it was that same session that she said she had posted consistently for, I think, 2 years straight. And I'm like, wow, what am I doing with my life? And you would see where that pays off, right? Visibility does not necessarily mean that you're overblowing your trumpet. You're making it seem like, oh, I'm the best thing that happened after sliced bread. No, you're just sharing your side of your expertise, your experience, you're contributing, you're making impact. So one thing I said is that position does not take you so far. It is the impact that does, the impact of what you're doing, even irrespective of your title. So one thing you can do to become visible as someone who's influential, even if you don't have to show up your face, is in meetings, how are you contributing to that conversation? You can't be in a sphere. They've spoken for 2 hours, and you cannot just say one thing that, even if somebody has said the idea before. Actually, I just wanted to mention that I agree to Tokwe's idea. It is a fantastic idea, and I think that it will do us justice to keep that idea in place. That's all. They just need to know the idea. You don't need to have anything serious to say, right? Share useful ideas, volunteer for meaningful projects, take responsibility for solving problems, contribute to cross-functional projects. One thing, I'm sorry, I'm going to say this, my husband has said to me recent time is, we have to read. Not because that we are not reading enough, it is because that you want to be able to contribute to whatever conversation may come up, irrespective of the topic. You want to be able to have meaningful insights. When they're talking of politics, you should have something to say. When they are talking of economics, you should have something to say. When they are talking of value, of leadership, of anything, of storytelling, of fiction, you should have something to say. So that is how people will know that, oh, this person knows what they're talking about. That means if I bring an idea to this person will have something to say about this issue. So you cannot be influential if you want to remain invisible. Thank you. So I'm not sure I can hear anybody any longer.
Thank you so much. Thank you so much, Atinike. You cannot be invisible if you want to be influential. Someone needs to write that in the chat room. If you want to be influential, you cannot be invisible. And you cannot be in a meeting and no one knows you are there. If we didn't need you in that meeting, we will not have invited you. We need your perspective. We need your insights. We need your contributions. Be visible, be visible, be visible. Thank you so much for sharing your perspective on that. I will crush two questions into one because we're out of time. Liberty asked this question and it's so profound. He gave us a scenario. He said his question is that there's a situation where you're working in an organization, you're trying to project, you're trying to be a person of good character, you're trying to be consistent, you know you're competent. However, management and leadership is interpreting your actions as though you are trying to force yourself into a particular position. How can I, as a professional, take initiative and lead from where I am without being perceived as though I am overstepping my boundaries or I am undermining my supervisor? How do I strike this delicate balance? I think it's a very crucial one that we need to talk about, particularly for entry level and mid level professionals. How can they lead from where they are? How can they take initiative without rubbing without rubbing shoulders, without rubbing anyone off the wrong way? You said something about maintaining relationships. Can you please speak to that very quickly in 30 seconds?
Okay. So one thing I would say is I have been in that position, and trust me, it's not a funny position. So you would doubt yourself, and am I not doing the right thing? So I would say that don't stop with the good character and don't stop being consistent. However, what people want is that they want to be carried along. How are you portraying your results or doing your work? Are you saying, oh, I did this, or You're coming from the angle of my team and I, or don't collect credits for the work. Just say, this person, we worked together on this thing, and show it that it was a teamwork. I'm not saying you should downplay your work. No, I'm just saying that you should ensure that you contribute and carry everybody along. It is a teamwork. You can't, again, understand, like Coach Israel said, relationship. You understand the kind of manager that you work with, their personality. Would you always want to include them and say, oh, my manager advised that I did this and I was able to work on this and I'm giving him the credit? I don't want to use office politics, but you have to play it one way or the other. So it is managing that relationship with your team, ensuring that you're always with my team and I, my manager, blow the trumpet of the people around you, and just make it look like you all are making the team look better than having to say, oh, I worked on this. It's my own work. So taking all the credit, even when nobody did anything. Yes.
Wow, amazing. Can we please give a round of applause to Coach Etinuke? I love your perspective on stakeholder management and how critical it is to understand who your mentors are, who your sponsors are, because those managers are still the ones that will hear about your promotion or otherwise before it gets to you, and they know how to speak up for you or to block it before it gets to you. So it's crucial for you to maintain those relationships with your stakeholders upward, same level, and also those beneath you, because you don't know who is going to be critical to your next promotion, your next career step. So thank you so much. Ladies and gentlemen, if this session has been phenomenal, I want you to please make it rain for all of our facilitators today. Atinuke Adamolekun and the amazing Mr. Kimomi Akinola. Thank you so much for gracing the stage. On behalf of the entire community, we say a very big thank you for all that you have done, all of the insights that you have added to today's conversation. We're so grateful to you, and we're truly, truly grateful for this opportunity that you have granted to us to learn and to become better. We look forward to connecting with you again, and we will definitely be in touch. In the chat room, once again, let's make it rain once again. Thank you so much once again. Thank you so much. So before we go today, I would like to share with you a very, very important information that would help you, whether you are a career professional, whether you are an entrepreneur, that would help you raise your game in terms of what you do, will help you get loyal customers, will help you get returning customers, and will help you build credibility in your industry. I'm speaking about none else than the customer service clinic that is being put together by CAS August 2026. It's in about 2 weeks from today. You don't want to miss it for anything. The flyer is being displayed on the screen. It is being curated specifically for hospitality professionals, but the way the learning and teaching methods will be adapted, anyone from any sector can actually also join us in this class. It will be holding the month of August on the 21st of August. Like I said, a few of the highlights of the program is building practical hospitality focused models, helping you to have customer first culture. It's going to also teach you how to communicate confidently under pressure. Yes, in terms of your customer journey, in the buyer's journey, things can go south sometimes. It is important for you to learn how to leverage the tools of communication to be able to communicate confidently, to also deliver service with empathy and emotional intelligence, to turn complaints into guest loyalty, and not last but not the least, to boost your guest satisfaction and to ensure that you get repeat business. The focus of this clinic is to equip professionals, particularly those in the hospitality sector, to deliver exceptional guest experiences. And if you're not in the hospitality sector, you know someone who's in the hospitality sector, or you are doing business at any level, don't forget we said earlier today that leaders are those who prepare for the opportunity before it shows up. So if you're one of those who are leaders in your own right, you want to begin to lead right from where you are, I encourage you to join this clinic, this class, this customer service clinic. The link to register is going to be displayed in the chat room. Click on it or reach out to us on any of our social media handles. I'll be very happy to have you in class. The early bird registration is closing very, very soon, and the difference in fee is significant and considerable. So we don't want you to miss out on this opportunity, and we assure you, we've been doing this for the past 19 years. We haven't had a failed client relation in the last 19 years. We want to teach you the strategies that work and help you to become the very best in what you do. So I look forward to seeing you in class. I will be there, and I definitely look forward to seeing you on the 21st of August. The details are showing on your screen. As we wrap up today, I'd like to leave you with this thought, that every organization, although has people who occupy different positions, but the people who change culture are the people who create value. Don't wait until you're promoted before you become dependable. Become dependable, become committed, become consistent, become excellent before you get promoted. Don't wait until you're appointed before taking responsibility. Lead from where you are, serve from where you are, solve problems from where you are, and become the very best version of yourself. If you have enjoyed today's conversation, I ask that you please subscribe to this YouTube link. We have a lot of information and career insights that will help you level up in the work that you do to become the best version of yourself. On all our social media handles, we also encourage you to also follow us, and we ask that you also join the Career Acceleration community. Invite a friend to the next Fireside Chat series and begin to make plans to join us at the summit proper, holding on the 9th and the 10th of October 2026. It's been a pleasure, an absolute pleasure and honor for me to have brought and to have hosted this particular edition of the CAS Fireside Chat. I'd like to say a very special thank you to the convener of the CAS, the Career Acceleration Summit, Coach Afalake Agumbiade, who though isn't in Abuja with us currently. She's running tech. Every slide you see, everything that is playing, every transition, she's doing that from where she is. We say a very big thank you to you for all that you do. And we pray for God's continued blessings upon you and upon Catson Consult. It's been an absolute pleasure once again bringing you this edition of the CAS Fireside Chat series. Until we come your way next month, and until I see you in the CAS community, my name is Israel Olumayawa Ojuade. Keep winning, keep growing, because winning and success looks so good on you. Bye for now, and see you next month. Thank you so much.
There is nothing you are looking for that you cannot find. It is there, it's out there. So find your strengths, find your weaknesses. Walk in line with your strengths.
so much for adding so much value to us at the summit. For your invaluable insights, we're truly, truly grateful for you.